Neymar v Suarez. Two unbelievably gifted players who both played alongside Messi at Barcelona. But who was actually better in their prime? I mean, we're talking about the guy who bit people on the field versus the one who gets hate for diving. These two were part of the insane MSN trio at Barcelona. Messi, Suarez and Neymar. Quick passing, great link-up play and pure goal-scoring madness. But today, we're going to settle this once and for all. Who was the real boss in their prime? Unlike Messi, both players did have their controversy. We've got Suarez, the guy who had numerous suspensions for biting opponents. Then there's Neymar, with the reputation of rolling around on the deck far more than he should. But don't let that fool you. Although controversial, these guys are two of the most talented and lethal forwards of their generation. So get ready as we dive into some crazy stats, wild moments and settle this debate. Neymar Jr. or Luis Suarez, who do you think was better in their prime? Okay, let's rewind a bit and see how these two legends started out. We're talking South American football, where the talent is as hot as the weather and the drama more chaotic than a telenovela. First up, Luis Suarez. He kicked off his professional career at Nacional in Uruguay, and boy, he didn't waste any time in finding the back of the net. In his first season, he banged in 12 goals and helped his team snatch the league title. Not bad for a first season. But Suarez wasn't content with just dominating in Uruguay. No, he had his sights set on Europe, so in 2006 he packed his bag and headed to the Netherlands to join FC Groningen. Now, moving to a new country, new league, that's tough, but Suarez, he took it in his stride, scoring 10 goals in 29 games. That's when the bigger clubs started paying attention. Ajax came calling and Suarez answered. They shelled out €7.5 million for him, which might seem like pocket money right now, but back then it was serious cash. And spoiler alert, he was worth every single penny. We'll get to the numbers in a bit, but he was tearing it up in the Dutch league. Now, while Suarez was making waves in Europe, there was another kid causing a stir back in South America. Neymar, the Brazilian wonder boy, was just getting started at Santos. Picture this, a 17-year-old kid, skinny, with hair that looked like it had a mind of its own. That was Neymar when he made his debut for Santos. And guess what? He scored in his very first game. Talk about making an entrance. In Neymar's first season, he racked up 14 goals in 48 games. Not too shabby for a teenager, but it wasn't just the goals that got people talking, it was the way he played. This kid had skills that made every defender look silly. He was pulling off tricks that most players could only dream about. Yet Neymar wasn't all flash and no substance. In 2011, he led Santos to win the Copa Libertadores, the South American version of the Champions League. And he didn't just participate in the tournament, he dominated it. He scored crucial goals and produced dazzling skills before he was named the best player of the tournament. At 19, he was already a superstar in Brazil. Now, while these two were lighting up their leagues, there were some dark clouds forming. See, talent like theirs doesn't come without some baggage. Suarez was starting to show signs of that fiery temper that would get him into trouble later. And Neymar, let's just say his flair on the field wasn't always appreciated by everyone. But before we get into all that drama, let's drop some numbers. Suarez bagged 111 goals in 159 games. He was scoring for fun in the Netherlands. And Neymar, he won the FIFA Puskas Award in 2011 for scoring the best goal of the year, worldwide. So while Suarez was banging in goals left, right and centre, Neymar was scoring ones that made your jaw drop. Okay, so we've seen how Neymar and Suarez started out as young talents in South America, but their rise to the top wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. These guys had some serious drama following them around. Let's start with Suarez. He seemed to take the phrase "eat you alive" way too literally. I mean, he actually bit people on the pitch. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. It started back at Ajax, where he got the nickname Cannibal of Ajax after biting an opponent, and you'd think he'd learned his lesson, wouldn't you? But no. Fast forward to Liverpool, and Suarez is at it again. This time, he took a chomp out of Chelsea's Branislav Ivanovic. The result? A 10-game ban. It got even worse when he did it on the biggest stage of them all. During the 2014 World Cup, he went in for a third course, biting Italy's Giorgio Chiellini. FIFA wasn't playing around, and they slapped him with a 9-game international ban, as well as being banned for 4 months from all football-related activity. Not only was he not allowed to play, he couldn't even train with his teammates or attend any matches. Now, let's switch gears to Neymar. This guy's got a different kind of controversy following him around. See, Neymar's got a reputation for being, let's just say, dramatic on the field. We're talking about dives that would make Olympic swimmers jealous. Neymar's theatrics have earned him a ton of hate from fans. They say his diving overshadows his talent, and let's be real, the guy's got a lot of talent. But when you're rolling around on the ground more than the ball, people start to talk. Here's the thing though, Neymar's not just faking it. He was actually one of the most fouled players in Ligue 1. So yeah, he might exaggerate sometimes, but he's also taking an absolute beating out there. Unfortunately, this is backed up with some really nasty injuries in his career. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite all the drama, these guys were absolute beasts on the field. Suarez became the Premier League's top scorer at Liverpool. He was banging in goals for fun, controversy or not. And when Neymar got to Barcelona, he showed why he was worth all the hype. His flair, his skills, his goals, it was all there. Remember that insane comeback against PSG in the Champions League? Neymar was the star of the show, scoring 2 goals and assisting another in the final minutes. Now, both these guys made some big moves in their careers. Suarez went from Liverpool to Barca, and Neymar broke records. But we're not going to spill the beans just yet. Let's just say these transfers shook up the world of football. When we're talking transfer fees, here it is. Suarez moved to Barcelona for a cool £75 million. That's a lot of cash, right? Well, hold on to your hats, because Neymar's transfer to PSG was a mind-blowing £200 million. The most expensive transfer fee in the world. Okay, so we've seen the rise of Neymar and Suarez, but now let's talk about their prime years, because when these guys hit their stride at Barcelona, it was something else. Picture this, Messi, Suarez and Neymar all on the same team. It's like having 3 superpowers in one superhero. They called it the MSN trio, and it was absolute madness. These guys were scoring goals for fun, making defenders look silly and breaking records left and right. Now, I know you're dying to hear the stats, but hold on to your hats, we'll get there. But for now, just imagine the most lethal attacking force you've ever seen in football. That's what MSN was like. Let's talk about some key moments. Let's go back to that insane comeback against PSG in the Champions League. Barca were 4-0 down after the first leg, and everyone thought it was over. But Neymar wasn't having it. In the last few minutes of the second leg, he scored 2 goals and set up another. It was like watching a movie, and that's the kind of magic Neymar brought to Barca. Suarez also scored in that game, a crucial early goal to spark the comeback. This guy was a goal-scoring machine, and he wasn't just scoring, he was terrorising defences. At the end of the 15-16 season, he outscored both Messi and Ronaldo to win the European Golden Shoe. To beat both of them in their prime just proves how lethal Suarez was. He was relentless. Now let's switch gears and talk about international careers, because these guys weren't just club legends, they were carrying their countries too. Suarez led Uruguay to the Copa America in 2011 and was named the best player of the tournament. He was out there making the whole country proud, and he didn't stop there. He kept being a key player for Uruguay in the following World Cups and Copa Americas. They defeated England and Italy in 2014 and defeated Portugal in 2018 before a quarter-final defeat to eventual winners France. Nevertheless, Uruguay were continuing to punch above their weight when competing with the giants. As for Neymar, he was playing for arguably football's biggest giant, Brazil. But it was an injury that ended his dream in 2014 on home soil. In 2016, however, he led Brazil to their first ever Olympic gold medal in football. He scored the winning penalty in the final against Germany. Talk about pressure, but Neymar, cool as a cucumber. Now, here's where things get interesting. After their time at Barca, these two took very different paths. One stayed at the top level in European football, while the other, well, let's just say he made a surprising move. As for the stats, here we go. During his time at Barcelona, Suarez scored a whopping 198 goals in 283 games. Insane. Neymar wasn't far behind, with 105 goals in just 186 games. Now, these aren't just good numbers, they're unbelievable numbers that you don't see from every player at Barcelona. Both of them also provided a crazy amount of assists for each other, and of course Messi. But here's the kicker. After leaving Barca, Suarez had a stint at Atletico Madrid, where he was their star man and helped them win La Liga. Now he plays for Inter Miami. Yeah, he's in the MLS now, tearing it up with Messi again. As for Neymar, well, he went to PSG for that record-breaking fee we talked about earlier, but recently he made an even more surprising move. He's now playing in Saudi Arabia for Al Hilal. So there you have it, two incredible players, both part of one of the greatest attacking trios ever, both with amazing stats and memorable moments. But apart from their time together at Barcelona, their careers have been totally different. Okay, let's break it down then. Suarez and Neymar, two absolute beasts on the field. Both have won a lot of trophies, league trophies, a Champions League triumph, domestic cups, personal accolades, you name it. And don't forget their national team success, Suarez with the Copa America and Neymar with Olympic gold. There's no doubt that both are elite players who have played for some iconic teams and at the very top of their game. But who was the better player in their prime? Does Suarez's goal-scoring edge make him the winner, or is Neymar's crazy skills and playmaking ability more valuable? It's a tough choice, but do let us know what you think in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more football stories.